Am I live? All right. Hey, welcome everyone. I'm Charlotte Smith of 3 Cow Marketing, and this is where we help you make your farm profitable. And this is a really exciting practice for me, what I'm going to go over today. One thing I learned years ago is that you don't just wake up one day and go, oh wow, we made a whole bunch of money this year on our farm. Every single farmer who is profitable is very intentional about it. They plan at the beginning of the year how much money they're going to make, and then they check up on that throughout the year. And the more intentional you get about writing those goals down and making those projections, the more money you actually make. And it's really great to see this work out. So I'm going to share with you what I do every year this time of year on my farm. I've changed it over the years. I've added things that make it work better for me. And if you want your own copy, be sure to click the link and get it, because this will walk you through some questions that you may never have thought about before that will help you make more profits on your farm. Because what we do is just too hard and too expensive to do forever if we're not making a profit. So it's called the 2018 Farm Marketing Business Plan. Got all sorts of great questions in there. I filled this out myself. So I'm not going to go over all my specific answers, but I do want to point out some really important things. First of all, there are no just for fun questions on here. All the questions are really important to get you think about your business and make sure you're profitable. So don't skip any questions. And the first one is actually to dream really big, because often we don't dream enough on our farms. We cut ourselves off and we say, oh, I could never do that. That's too much money. That won't happen. But what I found is when I dream big and I get it on paper, those dreams happen. Like I had this dream of writing a book 5-8 years ago. I kept telling people, oh, I'd like to write a book, but it wasn't until I wrote it down last year and wrote it down for the month of April that it actually happened. So go ahead and write down those dreams. Oh, another dream I have this dream of drying off our cows the month of December and January. Some of you already do that. You're like, wow, that's an easy dream, but it's not so easy for us when that's our main product, and I have never done it before. But now that I wrote it down, who knows, maybe it'll happen in the next couple years. The second really important question is, what are your non-negotiables for the year? And the reason that's important is most of us sacrifice our family and our relationships for the farm. So I make sure I get my non-negotiables on my calendar for the year first so that doesn't happen. And then we talk about what worked on the farm, what didn't work. And that comes from a lot of people continue doing things on the farm that actually didn't work and aren't making them money because they think they need to, or they just haven't stopped to give themselves permission to not do that thing anymore. So I want you to consider that. We're going to look at some stats, like how many people open your emails versus how many buy. How much money are you making if you're buying Facebook ads or ads somewhere else? You know, I'm going to ask you to look at that and determine how much money you make from that. And then we're going to look at what you really love to do. It's really sad for me to meet farmers who are really unhappy with what they do, but they've never stopped to think how they could alter it to love it again. And I say that because if you're no longer enjoying something on your farm, it shows up in your marketing and it shows up in your sales, and you struggle to make profits, and you know, so I really want you to take a look at that too. And we're going to look at specific numbers. Like I want you to make sure if you have 3 things that make the most money on your farm, we're going to have you focus on those 3 things, not the 15 other things you could sell but really don't make any money. So it's a great way to get you thinking about what you do. And I'm going to grab my little notes. Also, this is one of my favorite tools. This is, I don't know, it was $10 or something at the office store. It hangs on the back of the door in my office. So when I close the door and I'm sitting at the computer, I've got this big calendar there. So when anybody emails or calls for a request of something, I have my calendar filled with all these things, and it helps me make decisions very quickly. It helps me set boundaries, and it helps me say no if I have to do that too. All right, so the first thing I schedule on my calendar is my non-negotiables. Now, things like my yoga class twice a week that's non-negotiable, that goes on my personal calendar. I'm not going to put that on here. So put that on there. But the things that go on here are my family time. So March, spring break is here for us. If someone, I get a lot of calls to speak at conferences. So if someone calls for me to talk at a conference during that time, I know that, whoa, my daughter's out of school. I'm not going to, when she has a week off school, I'm not going to leave her with somebody else so I can go travel. There's plenty of other opportunities for that. So I know I can say no during that time. Right after school's out, it's really important for me to get away because my husband's a teacher and he's had when school's out, he wants to get away for a couple days. So we're all going to go away for a couple days there. I know that I'm traveling here for work and I'm going to turn it into a little family vacation. I also, this is really important, my son is going to deploy, he's in the Marine Corps next November. He'll be leaving. He has pre-deployment leave in October, and we don't know when. We never know when he gets those 10 days. Until maybe September, we'll find out when he's going to come home. But I'm not going to miss my son who's going to be gone for 8 months with no communication. I'm not going to miss visiting with him. So I'm going to mark the whole month of October off. I'm not going to book anything for that month until I know, because I don't want to sacrifice that. And the other thing is we really try to shut down the farm. Not shut down. We still take care of all the animals, but in December we try to do as little as possible. So now I have to plan my marketing for the farm around that. All right. So I teach that, what I teach is consistent relationship with your customers, minimum once a month, year round. And that's what I do on my farm. If you're trying to build your business and get more customers, you want to build up to every 2 weeks. But I know that I have to have a blog post ready every month, year round. So I'm going to put that on here. And this blog post right there, I already know that's going to be when I sell out my farm camp. So I know that I'm going to have a bunch of money coming in right there, which helps me with my financial planning for the year. I know that right here, I'm going to be selling my chickens that we butcher here. So I'll send one email out and I'll sell out on all the chickens. Here, the blog post will be about the farm tour. We butcher our chickens somewhere in there. I know that we have talked, Joel Salatin and I are doing some workshops again this summer, so we might do one on our farm. If that happens, it'll be right there. And then, let's see, we're going to have our farm camp the week of July 16th. So, these things tell me that I can't plan on leaving the farm during that time. And let's see, I'm going to, I need a blog post sometime there. My marketing, and this is just to maintain my relationship with my customers. In September, I send out my turkey email. That's my marketing post. October is relationship building. November, and I know that we plan a year in advance. We already booked our turkey pickup party, turkey butcher date, so that tells me that this whole week is slammed with getting ready for that big party there for people to get their turkeys from us, and then my December blog. Okay, so I put my marketing things in there, and I know that I have to have those prepared for the year. And then you guys know I run a farm half the time, and I run a marketing business the other half the time, where I teach farmers how to market. And so that takes a lot of about half and half of my time. So I already have some conferences booked that I'll be speaking at this summer, starting in January. And so I'm going to mark those down. I'm going to be gone these dates. And April 3rd. And here we're speaking with Joel Salatin again. We're going to be in Kentucky for all you people in Kentucky. All right, so these are my activities I know for the year. And like I said, this is going to hang on my door. So when someone calls me on the phone or sends me an email and wants me to do something, April 7th, I know that, whoa, I'm traveling right here. I'm going to be gone. And then I've got to send a marketing email for my camp. So I'm not going to be able to take them on right now. It allows me, it gives me a really good confidence at saying no, really great way of setting boundaries. Because let's face it, you and I, it's too easy to say yes. We get ourselves overcommitted way too easily. This helps me say, no, 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 no. And you know, the last thing I want to see you do, especially, is like sacrifice your family time because some great opportunity comes. If a great opportunity comes up, it'll still be there, or something just like it. I mean, take it from me, I've been doing this for years. Another opportunity just as great will come along afterwards. So this is how I plan my year on the calendar. But the most important thing is answering those questions first. So download your farm marketing business plan, where I've got a whole bunch of questions that help you really make sure you're doing what you really want to do, and you're doing what you love to do, and you stop doing the things that aren't making you money anymore. And then schedule it for 2018. And the thing I like about the sticky notes is I can move them around. If I decide to send my chicken blog post out the 2nd or the 16th, you know, I can move that around as time goes on. So I don't use the dry erase markers on this. I just use the sticky notes. And they're color coded too. So the turquoise ones are what we do with our family, my non-negotiable time. The orange ones are my marketing and my travel plans for that. And the yellow ones are for our farm. So that really helps me too. So hopefully this will help you get your 2018 under control right now. And you might think, oh, I can't figure out how much money I'm going to make. You know, I don't know how to answer that question, for instance. Well, that's a really important one. So choose a number. I'm sure you have a fairly good idea. It's okay if it's $10,000 or $50,000 or $100,000 off, but just having a number gives you a target to work towards. And it's amazing how often when I put a number down there that I think is a little bit high, I get closer and closer to reaching those numbers every year. So I can't emphasize enough, the more you think through how much you're going to make, what you're going to focus on, focusing on what's making you money, and then write it down and then plan it, you will end 2018 making a profit, you know, increasing your customer base, and finally living that farm life that you've always dreamed of. So give me some feedback below. Let me know if you filled this out, how it worked for you. Ask any questions you want. We'll come back and help. But be sure to get it downloaded and do it. It'll just help you so much this year. All right, take care, and I hope you have a great day.